now might be the perfect time to bring out what is it called? Yeah. And this is for all the new players in the chat. I'm going to put a link of this into the chat here. And for those of you who are really like who like to focus on the numbers in this game. So this is not for everybody. This is for the person who's like, I want my skill to go up. I'm doing stuff to make my skill go up. I kind of want to get a sense, am I optimizing things correctly? Do I got this right? Are all the numbers just right? Okay. This is called Grinder. And it is something based on the Wurm Unlimited code. Actually, I'm not sure if it's the unlimited code or if it's, but somebody built this as a model for predicting how well your skilling is going to be when you are doing a particular action with a particular difficulty. Some of these things are going to require a little bit of guesswork, but the idea is this. Let's say I want to mine. I want to work on my mining skill. I think it's power for skill gain. I'll be honest, I'm not sure about a lot of the differences between these, but I think they're all pretty much the same thing, except for with some pre-generated numbers, and also for specific skills, there's some specific extra tools here. So for example, for mining, they have a little drop-down menu asking you, what are you mining exactly? And so let's say I'm mining silver, okay? Oh, and the sort of pancakes, you were saying that you were doing lead. It looks like slate and copper are just as good as lead. And after rock salt is silver. I would say silver is just a little bit, you need to get to about 80, I'd say, before silver becomes yeah, doable. But I'd say lead, slate, or copper is where you're at the moment. So grinder, this is the south. So let's say I go. Let's use Sir Pancake's stuff here. 71.29 skill. Your pickaxe skill, I'm gonna just guess, is probably something like 74. Above your, it's gonna be slightly above, and that's not really gonna change too much anyway. Even if I change that to 80 or 60, won't change anything. Pickaxe quality. So you're currently using a 19 pickaxe quality, and you're on copper, slate, or lead. Okay, so when I hit submit, this is what I get. And what this is representing is the distribution of quality. It's like it's a histogram or a bar chart of all the different qualities you can get and their frequency. The vertical axis is frequency, horizontal axis is quality. So what it does is it simulates doing 50,000 actions, and every time an action happens, it'll like, okay, the quality was 20, and it'll put it into the 20 bin, and so on and so forth. And the higher the bar goes means the more times you got that quality. So this region in the middle is most of the ore came within this quality. And that quality is somewhere between 20 and 40. So in fact, I would say like it. So okay, one more thing about this. At first you read that as grinder and I had many, many questions. No, it is not that kind of grinder. So one thing that you have to know about this game is that the way that the skilling works for most gathering skills is that you get a skill tick based on the quality of the item that you produce. So if I mine and I get a 20 quality stone shard or iron ore or whatever it is that I'm mining, I get a 20 quality, I will get a skill tick. In fact, I'll get a skill tick anytime the outcome is between 0 and 40. Exclusive. So you won't get a skill tick at 0, you won't get a skill tick at 40, but anywhere in between, you will get a skill tick. Okay. This doesn't work for every skill, but mining, digging, wood cutting, those ones, this is going to happen. And you can keep track of this. Now, one misconception is that if the vein quality, like the maximum vein quality, is less than 40, some people think that means I'll get skill ticks every time. And that is not the case. Because what happens is there's a hidden roll in the back. Let's say you roll a 60, you don't get a skill tick, but the vein is capped at 40, so it'll come out at 40. So every time that you roll higher than 40, it'll come out at 40. However, you will not get a skill tick for that because you rolled higher than a 40. Okay. So this is giving you the distribution of your rolls. And what you notice is that the peak is slightly to the right, slightly to the right. So what this means is as your skill gets higher and higher, so as you get to 80, let's say, okay, as you get to 80, the number of actions that ended up in the 0 to 40 range is less and less because more and more end up over here. In fact, more than about half of your actions are above, and there's a whole bunch below too. So in this little box here, it'll tell you the percentage of actions that would have resulted in a skill gain. Here it's just under 50%. So I'd even say this situation is actually still not bad. But if you want to improve it, what you do is you lower your pickaxe quality. Let's say even if you go to 1, what that does is it increases the percentage of actions that give you a skill tick slightly. So I'd even say that what you're doing right now at 71 or whatever skill with a 20 quality pickaxe, according to the grinder tool, this looks okay-ish. It's about 50% of your actions, which is as good as you're going to get. The one thing that we have to consider, though, is that the grinder tool is not perfect. It's not exactly programmed in the same way as Wurm is programmed. It's trying to approximate how Wurm is programmed. So I recommend that you, in addition to using grinder to get sort of a eyeball, also like look at your results. It's best if you're on a vein that's higher than 40. That way you'll know if your roll ended up higher than 40. And then what you do is, mine a whole bunch of times. Let's say you mine 100 times. You get a pile of 100 ore sitting on the ground. Sort it by quality and see what percentage of the 100 ended up above 1 but below 40. And if it's about a 50%, then you're in a good spot, I would say. If you're getting a skill tick every other swing, that's probably about as good as you're going to get. I don't know if anybody who needed that information got that information, but I know that there's some newer players in the chat here, so that might help with the grinds. So far, it's mostly been 50 and lower. Okay, but what's the quality? What's the maximum quality of the vein? Is it above your skill, or is it like, are the highest qualities coming out? Yeah. Okay. So good. So I would recommend the way that I usually do it is I'll mine a full pile, like just mine and mine and mine until the pile is full, so I can see like the full pile, and then I open that pile up, sort it all by quality, so you get like it all from lowest to highest, and then I'll highlight hold shift and highlight all the ones that are above 1.00 and below 40. So like anything that's like 1.01 or 39.99 or anyone in between, I will highlight those ones and I look to see what percentage are those ones. So like if out of the 100, 55 of them are in that range. then you're in a really good spot. Above half. You want above half of them. You won't get that much above half though. Like the best you possibly can get is probably 55. Maybe not even